This is a bit complicated. I am a stepmom to 5 wonderful kids. I became their stepmom when the oldest was 9. I adopted all of them but one, and that is Nick. He never wanted me to be his mom, which is fine. The moment he turned 18, he made it very clear he doesn't care about me at all. I wasn't invited to his wedding, any holidays and so on if he was hosting. My last straw was when he told me that he will come to Christmas, that I was hosting if I left. So we are very low contact. Along with that, he has blown up every sibling relationship. He has 2 girls now, and he called me up. This was a surprise, and we started talking. After a while, he started complaining about not getting help at all to raise his kids. He asked me to watch them on Sunday and step up as a grandparent. I told him the reason the village doesn't exist to raise his kids is due to him burning that village down. He called me a jerk and hung up. My husband is iffy on the situation, but told me it's my call since I would be the one to watch the kids most of the time, since he travels often for work. I recently babysat my grandchildren, 5 and 4, for a period of 4 nights and 5 days, so my son and his wife could attend a wedding in Mexico and spend a few days on vacation. They approached me since her mother would not be available, and I initially said I wasn't comfortable with that. It seemed like a long time to watch the kids, and she has point-blank told me that the woman's family is more important than the man's, so I was irritated I was being asked, and not her mother. I will admit that I did give in when my son became very emotional, but I feel like they were being manipulative. While I had the kids, I was invited to a birthday at Epcot and wanted to go. It didn't even occur to me to run it by my son, or daughter-in-law, as I had the kids for an extended period of time, and obviously they knew they would be going where I went. My daughter-in-law had previously mentioned wanting to save up for Disney, but she said that about a lot of things, and never made me aware it was something super special to her. Also, it was Epcot. It's not like I took them to Magic Kingdom and they had some magical moment of seeing their favorite character. When they returned and found out my daughter-in-law was furious and burst into tears. She said I stole one of her kids first and called me entitled. To be honest, I didn't react well to being called entitled when she was the one who had previously demanded babysitting. My son asked me to apologize as she was distraught over missing their first Disney trip, but I declined and asked them to leave. My son reached out again and said I should have asked for something that big, and his wife feels robbed. I know she is a huge Disney person, but it was Epcot, not quintessential Disney, and I don't feel I should have had to miss out on a birthday party I wanted to attend. I told my son I am not apologizing for anything, and maybe they should think about how they made me feel when they didn't respect my initial no. My son feels like Reddit is going to show me the error of my ways. I've been married to my wife Beth for 5 years. I have a bio daughter named Jessica, she's 18, and I also have 2 stepdaughters named Monica and Leah. They're 25 and 28. Both are single moms and live with us currently. There's been issues about my stepdaughters asking my daughter to babysit the kids. Jessica didn't have a problem with it at first, since this is what she does to earn money. But since her stepsisters don't pay her much, she just refused to babysit. We worked this out by having my wife take care of paying for the babysitting. I planned a family vacation for 3 days and everyone wanted to go. However, both Monica and Leah suggested that Jessica stay home and watch the kids since Beth doesn't want her grandkids to come. They said it's because the kids are used to Jessica and hiring another babysitter would cause issues, and also said that Jessica isn't too fond of our destination, but it was obvious that Jessica wanted to go. They insisted, and Beth offered to pay her double, and there was just a lot of back and forth on this till I demanded they stop bringing it up. We were supposed to go last week, but when everybody had bagged their bags and was time to go, Jessica found out that she didn't have her passport on her. We searched her bag, then went home and searched there. Beth and my stepdaughters kept insisting that we go back to the airport or else we'd miss our flight. They insisted that Jessica stay at home with the kids. They even told the new babysitter to go home because she was no longer needed. I refused to go and kept searching for the passport, till Monica admitted that she helped Leah hide Jessica's passport to get her to stay home with the kids. I was livid. I tried to get her to tell me where it was, but she said Leah had it. Leah denied, so I threatened to cancel the vacation. That's when they gave it back. I decided to actually cancel the vacation and blew up at both of them and berated them. They stayed upstairs for a while, and Beth refused to speak to me and said that I punished my stepdaughters for worrying about their kids and wanting them to stay with someone they know. I got told I overreacted and ruined the trip for everybody, editing to mention that kicking my stepdaughters out isn't possible since my wife co-owns the house that we currently live in. I'm live with my parents and my younger siblings. We were very close until recently. My first mom died when I was 6 days old. She developed eclampsia in late stages of the pregnancy with me, and she never recovered from it. A few weeks later, my dad packed up and moved with me because he couldn't stay where they were planning a life together. This left her family behind. She has parents, siblings, nieces and nephews, aunts, uncles and cousins who were always a very tight-knit family. My dad met my adoptive mom when I was 7 months old, out of insecurity on my mom's part and a desire to forget the future he had planned with my mom. Contact between my biological maternal side was limited to once a year. My mom didn't want to share the role of mom. She knew my family would want to talk about my mom around me and would want me to know that she existed. But she didn't want to feel like she was less of a true mom. And my dad has just never gotten over the pain of losing my mom, and he buries the past in her to cope. I don't fully understand why they couldn't put me first in that decision. But they didn't. My childhood was mostly happy. It had some negatives, like wishing I knew my family better or had known my mom. Also, I wasn't accepted by my adopted mom's family, so that was always fun. Then I had more contact with my family. It started with texting, calling, and Zoom calls regularly, and then convincing my dad to let me go for a weekend here and there. He and my mom did not like it, and the decision confused my siblings too. I have loved getting to know them, and they have loved getting to know me. Grandparents' rights weren't an option for them because of that one visit a year, so seeing me more is huge for them.
My parents really started to let me know how much they disliked all this extra contact. My dad said it's painful, and my mom told me she feels less important because I am chasing a relationship that ties to a mom I don't remember. A couple of weeks ago, they told me I should think of them and my mom's feelings. I asked them how they would feel if they were in my mom's shoes or her family's shoes. If they died while their child was just a baby and they were erased by their spouse and his new spouse, would they be okay with that? And would they be okay if my siblings or I died with a newborn and they never got to be a real part of their lives? They refused to answer. I told them I didn't want to speak until they gave me an answer because they were being totally unfair to me. My parents are angry about this, and my siblings asked me why I had to make this such a big deal. So I posed the question, if one of us died, and we never got to see their only child, would they be okay with that? It helped them to understand, but my parents don't like my no-talking thing. But all they want to talk about is this topic, and they also won't give me an answer.